Hey there, thank you for joining my channel today. I am going to show you something pretty basic, very beginner level. This is just a beanie, but we're going to do a candy corn themed beanie, so just in time for the fall festivities and season. As an option at the end of this, I'm going to make a pom-pom for the top of it, but that's, you don't have to have that. The beanie looks pretty cute even without. So this is going to be a size newborn. So think birth to, probably could go all the way up to 3 months since it's pretty stretchy. What I'm going to do is use a size H hook. Also, let's see, 8 or 5.00 millimeters. So this is the size I'm using for this size newborn to 3 months beanie. If you want to, say, do like 3 months to 6, you would size up from this. So like an H, so I would come after this. J for probably a solid 6 months, as well as then, you would maybe, instead of like 3 rows for each color, you would add another, like a 4th row. We'll just keep going with rows to make it a little bit bigger. But for this today, I'm just showing you this size. And then you have options to make it a little bit bigger. If you're looking for like an adult size, probably gonna go with a J hook and same concept, but the crown, where we start with this magic circle, you're gonna go a little bit further out when creating your increases. So I know that there are patterns out there for you to find for adult sizes. I don't have that at the moment. Maybe I will in the future. But today this is going to be 0 birth to 3 months. Okay, so I have my 3 colors here, and I love this yarn, which is sold at Hobby Lobby here in the United States. We're gonna start with the white, and this is just an acrylic that gives you some ideas on what the sizing is as well for this one. And for this yellow, if you're looking in this brand in particular, this is literally just yellow is the color. They labeled this one. It's pretty bright. And then this orange, they call it Desert Glaze is the name of this one. So all right, so we're gonna start with our magic circle, and also make sure you have a pair of scissors. So let's start with the end of our white color. Make a circle, loop it around your fingers. You're gonna take your hook, put it through the circle, wrap around, bring it through the circle, then chain 1, chain 2. We're going to be working in double crochets, so you'll always be chaining 2 for each round. We're going to do a total of 12 double crochets in the middle of this circle. So let's get a total of 12. And you might want to like tighten your tail there as you go, just so that the circle doesn't get too big and makes it harder to hold as well. So I don't count my chain 2. So my double crochet, that's my first double crochet. So I'm going to do 11 more. So 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Let's see, running into a knot in my yarn. Uno momento, por favor. Pull that out a little bit. I probably did that when I was pulling the yarn out. I don't normally run into this issue with this brand. And it's caught. Okay. Let me take that tail again. I gotta tighten it, make that circle. And where were we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're probably already done. 10, 11, and 12. All right, take that tail, pull it to tighten your circle. It should look something like that. And the this chain at the top of the first one, you're going to put your hook in through, should look like a V shape. Wrap around, pull through, pull through. So that way we're closing off our magic circle. All right. So again, starting with the next round, you're going to chain 2. 1, 2. Now we're increasing, which means we're making it bigger and wider as we go. So since this is only, this is a small size, we're not going to increase, but let's see, we have 2 rows, 2 rounds of increases. And that is different each round if you are new to this. So this very first round, we're going to do 2 double crochets in each stitch around. So 2 times 12 is going to make 24. You're going to have 24 double crochets in this next round. But first, before starting on that, you're going to go into that same exact spot that you did that slip stitch in and do 1 double crochet. Okay, so it should look like that. Then your next one will have 2. And you'll continue that all the way around. Oop. Let's see. Some of these rounds, as we get further along, I will be speeding up or pausing the video and working, and then you can pause. And when you get to the end of that round, you'll just press play and we'll pick up back together at the end of the round. That way you're not just sitting here listening to me or having to skip through all these individual stitches. So, but this is not gonna take that long to get through this one because we are already there at the end. All right, so last one, you're gonna go ahead again and find the top of the first, push it through your hook, push it through, hook around your yarn, pull it through, and pull it through to all the way. So your slip stitch through is the term. All right, so starting on our third, this is 1, 2, third round, we're going to again chain 2, double crochet into that same stitch, and then we're going to go, instead of 2 in each one around, we're going to just do 2 every other one. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So this next space, you will do 2 double crochets, stitches in there. Next one, only 1. And continue that all the way around. We're going 2 double crochets, then 1, 2 double crochets, then 1. Yep. All right, and I'm gonna pause the video and you go ahead and do that as well. When we come back, I will be all the way around to the end. You should be there with me, and we will continue to the 4th round. Okay, so now we are done with our 3rd round. Go ahead and slip stitch through the first, top of that first double crochet. Okay. And now we're going to switch colors. So now we're going to go to that yellow. And actually, let's not, I'm going to slip stitch a different way to attach that yellow. So take that slip stitch out. Okay, hold it like that. And grab your yellow. And your scissors. You're about to need them. Go ahead and do a beginning chain. All right, like so. And when we go to put our hook through the top of that first stitch, instead of yarning over with the yarn that we have, we're going to attach that yellow chain. Pull through, pull through. There we go. All right, and that'll make each round look a little bit neater. If I could find the one to show you like that. So you actually can't tell too much that I switched colors, and it hides it better. The other thing that I'm going to be doing to really distinguish these different colors and their layers is we're going to do what's called a back loop only stitch. It kind of creates this line, this very more clean looking line in between the colors. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So going into the 2nd round, go ahead and do 2 chains. Let's cut off our white like so. We'll go ahead and get that out of the way and tie it off. Not too tight, but okay. I'll go back and cut those tails at the end. All right, so you should have your two chain of 2. Okay, where were we? So back loop only. So we're still going to be doing those double crochets. So loop around, but you're going to go into the back instead of going all the way through like we were as before. You're only going to go through this back one. Okay, so kind of push through the middle of those, yarn over, and finish your double crochet. All right, and we're not increasing anymore, so we're just going to be doing 1 double crochet in each chain around. So again, back loop only, and it starts to create this line, as you can see right there. That'll give it a more clean look in between the colors. And so you can start to kind of see that take form as you go. You see that line right there? All right. And since we're not increasing anymore, we're starting to work down the sides of the beanie. You'll start to see it take shape, more of like a bell shape. More like what you want your hat to look like, to shape the head. Okay. So how's that working out for you? You don't have to do, that back loop only. That's just my preference for how I wanted this beanie to look. You would just continue the double crochets in each stitch around. Almost there with our 4th round. Nothing different, just the same. Still going into the top stitch, slip stitching through, chain 2, and then you will continue on. All right, so you see it's starting to now turn. And that's the top of our beanie. All right, so I'm gonna keep working on our 5th round here. You can go ahead and pause, and I will too. And we will come back when we are done with round 5, sorry. All right, meet you on the other side. All right, so you should be done with row 5 like I am. Go ahead and slip stitch through, chain 2, and then guess what? We're gonna do it again for round 6. For this size, you're going to do 3 rounds of yellow, 3 rounds of the white, 3 rounds of orange, but I don't know if you notice, this last round here is not a double crochet. It is actually a half double crochet. Just a little added detail that I wanted along there. But anyways, we're not there yet. We will get there. So let's continue. Go ahead and pause your video now and get your 6th row of yellow round. I keep doing that. 6th round of yellow done. All right. Okay, so go ahead and we're gonna start that slip stitch, but we are changing colors. So you're gonna put the hook through, and go ahead and grab that orange or that desert glaze like I have, and create your beginning chain at the end of that tail. This is so easy. If you have to take more than an hour to do this, which I understand maybe the first time, that is still really good. Imagine getting a gift done if this is for someone else, Well, I assume it's for someone else and not you, right? Because this wouldn't fit. But, all right, so grab that orange, pull through. You're gonna pull it through again. Bring those 2 together. Woo, there we go. Pull that orange back out. And I need to hold that orange down so it stops trying to pop out of there. All right, chain 2 of the orange. We will go ahead and cut a tail of that yellow. Move the yellow out of the way. We are done with that. Check that out. All right, so same thing. This first round, remember, I'm wanting to create that clean line between the colors. So we're doing the double crochet still, but we are going through the back loop only with our double crochets. And I'm going to pause for a moment right there just to go ahead and tie off these tails. That way it keeps these stitches that are right here like a little bit tighter and not so loose when I'm double crocheting into them. And I'll come back and snip these later on at the end. All right, get some more thread. Here we go. So double crochet in that back loop only around, all the way around. Do not pass go, do not collect $100. We will meet on the other side. Okay, see that nice line between the yellow and desert glaze. Yeah, I like that. All right. We'll go ahead, pause, I will pause, and we will meet back at the end of this round. All right, so that makes our 7th round. Go ahead, slip stitch at the top, chain 2. Now for rounds, let's see, so I said this is 7. So rounds 8 and 9, actually let's do 8. 9, again, we're gonna do half double crochets, not doubles. So round 8, which is what we are on right now, go ahead and double crochet all the way around using, and go through both loops. We're not doing back loop only still. Both loops, all the way around. Pause, I'll pause, and we'll meet back at the very end. And we are almost done with this beanie, so get excited. All right, go ahead and pause your video. All right, finished with round 8. Go ahead, slip stitch that sucker through. This time we are not going to chain 2 for a double crochet. We're going to chain 2 for a half double crochet. You thought I was going to say chain 1, didn't you? No, chain 2 still. This, for a half double crochet, it is a little bit different than the single or the double if you've not done it before. Super simple though, it's not gonna be hard. But also, I don't know if you noticed, but I also did, for a little added detail, back loop only, this half double crochet round. I did a half double crochet in the back loop only, and it gave it this little detail right here. I don't know, I just, thought I would like it a little bit better, and I do. If you don't, you don't have to do it. You really don't. You can just go through both loops, you'll be fine. But what I really like about this is when you do that, I don't know how to explain it other than just it kind of tightens it a little bit more. So I like, you know, where this is coming around on the forehead, around the head. It's a little bit tighter right here versus the double crochet would have been wider still, not as tight. This half double tightens it up a little bit. Don't know how to explain that other than that, but yeah. So, all right, let's get to it. We are almost done. Round 9. All right, half double. You're still going to yarn over like you normally would. We're going in that back loop, yarn over, pull it through. And instead of doing the usual like yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull, you know, the second 2 to make that double, it is going to look something like this. So yarn over, go through, yarn over, and you're going to, instead of going through those first 2, you're going to just pull it all the way through all 3, like that, okay? All 3. So yarn over again, back loop only, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. All right? So as you start to go around, you'll see that back loop only line difference, and the way that adds just a little bit of detail in there. Continue with that. And after this, the question's going to be to pom-pom or not to pom-pom, because that is a personal preference. Probably depending on the individual that you're making it for. But I don't know, this is pretty gender neutral. It doesn't matter, boy, girl, you know, this fits, looks just fine with a pom-pom on a baby boy as it would on a baby girl. My opinion only. So, and I'll go ahead and we'll just get this done together instead of pausing. It's a last round. I feel like we can spend this last round together. So again, if you want to size up for this, if it's somewhere in the first year, that is really just going to be using a larger hook and putting more rounds to this. More rounds. And when you start to get into like that 6 to 12 month sizing, I would also encourage you to do a 4th round of white where it's increasing. So this this round right here, this 3rd round where we were increasing every other one, that 2 double crochet in every other one, you would, instead of it being 1 double crochet in between, you would go 2. So it would go 2 double crochet, 1 double, 1 double, 2 double crochet, 1 double, 1 double. And then as you continue to size up into like youth sizes, teenager, adult, and really teenager is just like a smaller adult size. Some of them actually probably just go adult size anyway, if this is for a teenager. But you want to continue increasing your double crochets. How many is in between each 2 double crochets, in between your increases? So this one was just 1 double crochet in between the 2. The next one's 2 double crochets in between the 2. Next one's 3. Next one's 4. Of course, I don't think you really need 4. Is probably going to be like your adult sizes for sure. But anyway, so there are patterns out there of that. I don't have one now at the moment. Mine are only in the baby newborn ranges. So all right, so let me quit yapping and get back to this so we can finish our project. All right, there at the end. Now we just got to do the thing, the slip stitch, and we'll slip stitch all the way through. Go ahead and chain 1, get your scissors out, cut, make your tail, let go of that, set that orange aside, won't need that again, pull through. Now I'm going to go on the inside and start working with my tails. Make it nice and pretty. Okay. Fasten off. So I just turned it inside out. You found these ones that we tied earlier. Just go ahead and, if you haven't tied them, tie them. Tie them tighter if you want. Double knot, triple knot, whatever feels right to you. And then from our magic circle up here, I use my hook. Just find a stitch to go through. like that, and you're just like chaining one and pulling it to make it tighter. All right, and then cut that. Turn it back inside out. All right, so there, now you should have your candy corn beanie. Sizes birth through 3 months finished. Larger size if you went ahead and used a slightly larger hook, if you were doing like 3 months or 6 months for this one while working with me, that works. And then we can pom-pom these up, and that's going to be pretty easy here to do. Of course, I haven't done it. Whoop. Where even is my end? There it is. Okay. Using your hand, your fingers. I like to use all 4 fingers. Go ahead and you're going to loop the snot out of this. And the more yarn you do and you use, the fluffier your pom-pom's going to be. So up to you. My hairs. Okay. So getting towards the end, what you'll do is loop this around the middle. Can be a little tricky, but just take your time. Grab that. All right, so now you should have like these 2 well, I wouldn't worry about that other tail. All right. I tied it to itself, by the way, if you didn't see that. I'm going to tie these together and tighten it. That still feels really loose. Go around, tighten that. Whee! There we go. Pom-poms are an art, and I have not mastered them yet, for the record. All right, but it should look something like that. So you just need to take your scissors and start cutting the ends, these loops, I should say. I like to leave those, that tail that I used nice and long, because this is what I'm going to use to tie it onto the hat. And I mean, if these are still too long for you, like, you can always go back and do a little bit of a trim, snip, snip, make them shorter. But, all right, to attach it, take your hook, push it up through that hole, the magic circle, grab your tail, yarn over, pull it through. Okay, go on the inside, which we could have left our tail from our magic hook in order to tie those together. That probably would have worked just as well, but that's all right. Again, the magic circle, that tail, what I did for it, I'm going to do the same for the pom-pom tail. You know, where you're just finding a spot to pull it through. And let me see. Okay. All right. Clip, snip, snip. And pull it out. And we have our pom-pom. Here we go. All right. So look how easy that was. So easy, and thank you for joining me today to do that with me. I hope you have a magical day. Thank you.